There's no escape from the fact that you're gonna irritate a few individuals in a sport where the entire goal is to cause as much harm to someone else as possible. A new study by Gambling.com has taken to boxing. It used sentiment analysis from Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit about boxers and determined how they're received. Join us as we look at the most loved and hated boxers on the internet. Starting off, we have Jeremy Charlo, who had 26.4% positive and 6.41% negative feedback. Charlo's popularity among fans is justified because he recently became the first undisputed super welterweight champion. Following a split draw in their last encounter last year with Brian Castano, his injuries forced him to postpone their rematch by 3 months. When they finally faced off this May, Charlo outlasted Castano's early attacks and waited for his opportunity to strike. In the 10th round, the opportunity presented itself, and Charlo boldly seized it. When he ended his Argentine opponent with 2 knockdowns in the 10th round, Charlo made history by becoming the first man to hold every 154-pound title during the 4-belt era. He ended his extraordinary journey by becoming the 7th boxer to hold the title of undisputed champion in any weight class since the 4-belt era began in 1988. Next up, the 3rd most admired boxer is Saul Canelo Alvarez. According to a survey, 27.1% of fans felt positive feelings towards him. This was expected because Alvarez is well on his way to becoming the world's best boxer pound for pound. The Mexican superstar has a remarkable record of 56 victories, 1 defeat, and 2 draws during his professional career, which was definitely aided by the fact that he competed for the first time at the age of 15. Late in 2018, Alvarez inked a massive $365 million deal that gave DAZN the rights to broadcast his next 11 fights, while also extending his promotional agreement with seasoned promoter Golden Boy. At the time, it was the most lucrative deal ever offered to a professional athlete, but he ends up passing up 8 fights and more than $280 million. He is among the sport's most humble fighters. Well, as humble as a boxer can be. One incredible fact about Alvarez is that his first fight against Abraham Gonzalez in 2005 only won him $15. Compare that to the deals he signed later in his career. It's fair to say he made it. Moving on, Shakur Stevenson is ranked the number 2nd most liked with 27.7% positive sentiments. Even though Shakur Stevenson hasn't competed at lightweight yet, he is still regarded as one of the top boxers in the world. We all want to see him competing with the best men. Stevenson was the undisputed champion at 130 pounds until last month, when he failed to make weight. After weighing 131.6 pounds, the titles were taken away from him. The bout was allowed to continue after Stevenson and Conceição agreed on a financial penalty. Actually, Stevenson won't be negatively impacted by losing his belts. However, if it occurs again at 135 pounds, that's a different matter. For the time being, his inability to reach the limit of 130 pounds will only speed up his entrance into the truly meaningful fights. Those will put him to the test, unlike anything he has ever experienced. At 126 and 130 pounds, Stevenson has dominated opponents who are far weaker than he is. At 135 pounds, he will face off against fighters who are not just bigger, but also far more skilled. Stevenson is a 30-1 favorite to overcome Conceição and maintain his perfect record. The challenge for him lies at lightweight, where David Haney is the indisputable champion, and top fighters like Vasily Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis, and Ryan Garcia compete. Stevenson has a shot at becoming the best boxer in the world thanks to his superior defense, shot placement, and sense of distance. And fans are aware of it. He won't be able to fully show this, though, until he moves up to lightweight and takes on the greatest competitors there. Following up, Tyson Fury is the most popular boxer on social media. Following the recent study, the boxer had 28.2% positive and 10.8% of negative sentiments. According to the research, Fury generated 1 million social media engagements in 2021 for 3 potential matches this year. There have been discussions of an all-British fight versus Dillian Whyte. Geezer's boxing study shows that one of the most popular fights held is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, with nearly 900,000 engagements from 2,134 articles. Fury versus Joshua had the greatest social media activity in 2021. Last year, the 2 heavyweight rivals were supposed to face off, but Anthony Joshua suffered a shocking loss to Alexander Usyk. With 540 interactions per article, Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk is the 2nd most expected fight for the forthcoming year. Born 3 months prematurely and weighing a single pound, Fury has not only beaten the odds, but he's become one of Britain's biggest boxing icons and has been stealing the spotlight for over 12 years. Known both for his skills inside the ring and for his flamboyant personality, the Gypsy King has gathered quite a few memorable moments under his belt. Now, let's look at the most hated boxers in the world. First off, one of the most despised boxers at the moment is Deontay Wilder. He got an unfavorable sentiment percentage of 25.3% among boxing fans, according to the survey. And it's easy to understand why. The boxer seems to enjoy talking trash. Most people, however, despise him because of his hatred toward Tyson Fury, a fighter with whom he's closely associated. Wilder has stated on multiple occasions that he's vowed vowed to destroy Tyson Fury because he hates him so much. Wilder believes that Fury cheated him of his WBC heavyweight title when he defeated him in 7 rounds to hand Wilder his first professional loss back in February of 2020. The Bronze Bomber claims he first acted cowardly by trying to avoid him before being told by a U.S. arbitrator to face Fury a 3rd time. Because of his arrogance, Wilder is despised in the boxing community, but in his opinion, that's alright. It provides increased energy and inspiration. He's been written off throughout his entire career after all. For many detractors, Wilder was just another man, the most recent in a long line of heavyweight contenders who looked the part but lacked the fighting skills to compete. Despite winning a bronze medal at the Olympics, Wilder wasn't well liked. This perception hasn't changed in 10 years. Coming up, Vasyl Lomachenko is the most unexpected entry on the list. He received 25.10% negative sentiment on the survey. At one point, this man was recognized as the greatest boxer ever. Fans couldn't get enough of him, and as a result, until lately, no one really remembered he even existed. The most decorated boxer in Ukraine, Lomachenko, lost all of his lightweight championships in 2020 when he lost against American Teofimo Lopez at the MGM Grand Conference Center. Despite predictions, the 23-years-old Lopez defeated the more seasoned Lomachenko, who was 32 at the time. According to the judge's unanimous decision, Lopez outboxed Lomachenko in most of the 12 rounds. Punch data revealed Lomachenko connected on 141 of 321 attempts, compared to the winner's 183 of 659 attempts. The boxer, however, disagreed with the judges and left the ring right away after losing because he believed that at least the second half of the fight should have gone in his favor. Lomachenko made history as a professional boxer by being the first fighter to win 3 world championships in 12 fights in 2018. The fewest number of professional fights, he shattered 3 records by winning the featherweight, junior lightweight, and lightweight belts. Not to mention, Josh Taylor had 12.5% positive sentiments from fans. It is massively outweighed by negative sentiments, which stand at 31.4%. That makes him the second most hated on this list. It is easy to understand why Taylor is so despised. Remember how he once racially abused a bouncer at a club? The rant started after the former boxing world champion was kicked out of the hip Shanghai club in the city in 2019. Staff at the club notified the police after the incident, and Taylor was taken into custody and charged. Even a $350 fine was due from him. Earlier this year, Taylor defeated Jack Catterall in a points decision to keep his WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO light welterweight belts. Many people on social media criticized the judge's judgment. They hit him hard on Twitter and Facebook, which made the boxer publicly state that the fans' reaction was absolutely disgusting. It's fair to say that people's sentiment towards him is not that great. Lastly, Jake Paul is the most hated boxer worldwide. We admit this was the most expected entry on the list. Paul has been dubbed the most despised boxer in the world, receiving 32% negative sentiment compared to 89% of those who disliked fellow YouTuber turned boxer KSI. Even though Paul has gained some respect among his peers in the sport, some people are still unwilling to acknowledge him as one of their own. He has 5 professional fights under his belt and is undefeated, but he hasn't entered the ring with another boxer yet. Paul has faced off against a former NBA player and mixed martial artist so far. His attempts to fight a fellow boxer have so far failed. One was with Tyson Fury's brother, Tommy Fury. After Rahman Jr. took Fury's place, the two were scheduled to fight at Madison Square Garden, but the match was called off due to weight allegations. Do you think any other boxer deserves to be on this list? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and also subscribe to our channel.